Welcome to Knosys. In this tutorial, we will be discussing how to create a connector using the Knosys ETL tool. To begin, log into the Knosys application. On the Story dashboard, click on the profile name and then select the ETL Data Tool option in the dropdown. We will now be presented with the ETL Control Panel page. On the upper right of this page, we are provided with an at-a-glance menu displaying how many existing connectors, data marts, users, and stories exist for this account. There are also three icon buttons in the middle of the page. To begin the ETL process, we will click the Import Data button or the large blue icon located on the bottom left. We are now presented with the Connectors page. On this page, we can see how many existing connectors there are. Connectors are connections that behave like data adapters and allow users to automate the process of moving data from supported sources into datasets used by Knosys. They are presented in an intuitive list that details the type, name, author, and the created date of when the connector was created. Please note that the connectors listed in this view will vary from what you will see in your account. To continue with this example, we will create a new connector. To do this, we will press the Add button on the top right of the connector screen. We are now presented with the Select a Connector page. On this page, we are shown which types of files or remote connections that you can use to create a connector. For this example, we will be using a CSV, a comma-separated value file. To begin this process, we will click the CSV icon button. We are now presented with the Upload step. In this step, we have two options to upload our file. We can click Browse to have our computer open a window to browse directly for a file, or we can simply drag and drop the file into the dash outline box area of the screen. For this example, we are going to drag and drop our file from our desktop directly into the drag and drop area of the screen. Once the file has been dragged into the drag and drop area, we will see the file represented by the file icon. To continue, we will click Upload. We will know that the file has been properly inserted when the progress circle appears. Once the file has been uploaded, we will be prompted with the next step in a series of screens to help define the data further for the ETL tool. The next screen to appear will display the settings for the file that has been uploaded. First, we will need to name the connector. This will help us stay organized as the file will be visible from a list of connectors that we saw when we first entered the ETL tool. For this example, we will keep the file name that was inherited from the actual CSV file that we imported. Next, we will confirm the field separator. In this case, it is correctly identified as a comma. However, there may be files that use other types of separators that would then be identified here. Next, we will indicate whether or not this file had a header. We will leave the box checked as our file did have a header with column names. And since we know that our first row contained the column names, we will leave the header row number drop-down selected to 1. If we had any rows that we wish to exclude, we can identify them in the next line. In our example, we do not have any rows to exclude, so we will leave this section blank. We will click Next to continue. In this step, the data from our file will be represented in columns for us to review. By clicking on each column, or using the left and right arrows, we can review each column label and data type. This step is where we can rename the column label to anything that we choose. We can also define a data type for each column from a choice of string, integer, date, and decimal. For this example, we will change a few headers to be more user-friendly. First, we will capitalize one of the headers. Then we will rename the header to be less technical and clear for the user. These changes will vary based on the data that we are importing. In other instances, we may not need to change our headers at all. Once we are done, we will click Next to continue. We have reached the fourth and final step of the data preparation process. We will click Prepare Data to continue. This task will continue in the background for a short amount of time. We are free to leave this page while the data is being processed. However, if we wish to stay on this page, we will be sent to the connector's home page once the data preparation is completed. From there, we will be ready to move on to the next step in creating a data mart. Thank you for watching.